Hey guys, it's Spyro4 here, and this is a budget $45 magnetic keyboard that should perform just as good as the Wooting. Meet the EPOMAKER HE68 Lite, and let's start with the unboxing. Well, actually the unboxing experience is similar to the Wooting 60HE. First we get the keyboard covered with this, and for this keyboard there's only two colorways, and EPOMAKER sent me the white version. Let's see what we still have in the box here. We got a braided Type-C cable, and two extra switches with some screws in here, a keycap puller, which is appreciated, and finally the side strap. It's sort of like the Wooting. It comes with a screwdriver too, which is interesting. And if you want to apply it, you just remove this plastic thingy, put this plastic piece inside the metal piece, and then let it bite the strap like this. Put one screw from the underneath and then one screw on top. Finally, we just need to apply it in place. And here we go. This maybe looks better for some people. So looking at the keyboard from the underneath, they don't have these adjustable heights right here. Since the keyboard already has a tilt degree, as you can see, I personally don't mind this, but some other people might think it's an issue. So this keyboard comes with a 68% layout. I'm personally not a big fan of the 60% layouts because they don't have arrow keys and the delete key. Sometimes I really find those very useful. And the color of this keyboard looks pretty clean actually. I'm kind of a fan of this one. Alright, so let's check the keycaps. The keycaps are double shot PPT see-through, and they have a pretty decent shine with the RGB actually. Now let's check the switches. These are Hall Effect closed bottom magnetic switches, and they have a little bit like a minimal wobble, as you can see, but it's not a big deal actually. They look transparent and pretty clean, and that's going to help as well with the RGB vibrance. And I'm also going to compare them in this video against the popular magnetic Jades.
So these three are the default switches, and these three are the Jade Pros.
And this keyboard is obviously compatible with any Hall Effect switch. So testing the wobble here on the keys, it's kind of noticeable, not gonna lie, but it's not bad. I don't think it's gonna mess with your gameplay in a real scene. I also want to check the stabilizers, so let's open them up real quick. The stabilizers look pretty solid actually. There's no wobble at all. Yeah, I can feel and see a little bit of lube on these stabilizers here, so that's a solid plus. The HE68 Lite comes with a huge layering structure. As you can see here in this picture, there's a sandwich foam plate, there's a sound enhancement pad, bottom foam, a lot of layers that will help with the sound quality. And talking about the sound quality, I think this is time to give a sound test. I'm actually surprised with the sound quality of this keyboard. Due to the perfect structure for multiple layers inside the keyboard, the sound quality sounds better than 100 plus magnetic keyboards actually. For $45 only, you're getting a great sound quality. And the typing experience on this keyboard is amazing actually, especially due to this flat area here that helps your palm rest against the keyboard without being poked against these sides, as you can see here. So now actually let's jump into figuring out the software of this keyboard and see if it's going to add a little bit of brightness on the RGB. On the EPOMAKER website, let's go to downloads, software I think, and here's the EPOMAKER driver for the HE68 Lite. I think the brightness was on max already. So this keyboard is promoted as a Hall Effect magnetic keyboard which supports 0.01 actuation. Of course it supports SOCD, or as known as snap tap. It supports of course 8K polling rate and a scan rate of 128 kHz, which is wild. Usually like keyboards don't achieve more than 30K I think. Going to the magnetic switch settings here, you can choose your actuation. Let's assign WASD and then put the actuation on the minimum. And for the dead zone, I forgot to mention that it supports 0 dead zone, which is crazy too. And let's enable rapid trigger as well. And enabling rapid trigger here, actually I'm surprised it supports 0.005, not even 0.1, like half of what they're promoting. I think they came with a firmware update for this. All right, now that we have the best settings we could actually achieve on this keyboard, let's test the movement in Valorant and see how sensitive it's going to be. It's actually, I'm barely clicking the key. I mean, it performs just as good as any other Hall Effect keyboard. For the switch settings here, it's different modes for each switch. Like if you have magnetic Jade Pros, less than 1 millisecond latency based on Meg's measurements. I suggest you to also check his channel out, and I appreciate latency tests he has done before. So if you have as good as a firmware and as good as a build quality and everything, all you need is better switches at this point. So yeah, I do suggest getting Jade Pros. Alright, so I'm going to set my settings here on this keyboard and do some couple of gameplays and then come up to a conclusion.
enemy remaining.
My ult's ready. There you are.
Someone already have 40 kills. What? Game should just start.
I don't think so. That's
Dominating.
So for $45, is this keyboard worth it? I would say 100%. First of all, because of the performance and firmware solution here. So we have a very high scan rate with support of 8K polling rates. We have a clean typing sound thanks to the layering that's packed in this keyboard inside. Beautiful RGB, even though it's not the brightest, but beautiful so far. PPT keycaps, the structure, the layout of this keyboard is amazing. For $45, you're getting pure performance, but you're missing on two things. First of all, the wobbliness on these keys is a little bit noticeable in my opinion, unless you want to spend like $40 and buy a switchback. And second thing is the height adjustments. They are not available in the back here, but the plastic build is amazing on this keyboard, and you get an extra strap if you're obsessed with the wooding aesthetics. So yeah, thanks again for EPOMAKER for sending this over for review, supporting my channel. The next keyboard we're going to review on the channel is going to have a knob at the top here, so stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't yet. Supporting my video with a like helps with the algorithm, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.